Hello amigos, ¿cómo están? I'm Diamond86 and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Chivas. Obviously the season's been done now for a couple of weeks. Nothing really much has happened by the way of the club at all for a while, but it's been announced earlier today, probably a mere few hours ago now, that we've made two signings, and we're just going to talk about them quickly and my reaction and what I think is going to happen next season. So let's get straight into it. Obviously, we've signed two players now. Oscar Wally, who's going to be our new goalkeeper. I don't know what that means for Wacho. I'm assuming we're going to be rotating both of them. Wally comes from the Spanish second division, if I'm not mistaken. CD Lugo, I think that's how you pronounce it. And yeah, I mean, obviously, a backup keeper is what we needed. Wacho, obviously, he's been our out and out starting goalkeeper for the whole of last season, but he has a mistake in him. Although, having said that, he does do really well and makes a really good save at least once a game. But we do need strengthening in that position. We've got a couple of players in Tapatio in the youth system as well that I think we could have brought in. But obviously, Wally's a more established player. I mean, he's 29 years old, so he's obviously well established. He's only really played in the Spanish second division. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent player that we needed a backup for in that position. So I say backup, but what I mean is competition. Like we need two quality goalkeepers going to the next season. And if Wacho has a bad game, he knows now that he can't. He's not going to be an automatic starter next game. He has to perform at the top level if he wants to keep his spot. Otherwise, Wally's right there. I think I'm pretty sure Wacho is probably going to start the first game of the season. But you never know, and obviously it's a good position to have strength in now, so that's cool. Some people talk about his nationality, whether he's eligible for Chivas and things. I've looked him up, obviously. Apparently his mother's Mexican and his dad's British, which is pretty cool for me personally. But he was born in Spain, so I think he was eligible for all three countries. And when I mean British, I mean English. He's eligible for England, Mexico, and Spain. I'm pretty sure he's only got one international cap to his name. I think that was the Spanish under 23s or under 21s game. And that's it. He's not played internationally out of that. So there is debate. Obviously he's not an out and out Mexico player. He could still switch. I mean, I don't think there's a cut-off period in terms of age whether you can make your one-time switch. I don't even know whether he needs to actually, because obviously he's won games for a youth competition. So I don't actually know whether he needs to make a swap or whether he can just declare for Mexico. So there's a bit of iffy. There's obviously the die-hard Chivas fans that might be a little bit questionable about that. They might be a little bit annoyed by that. I've seen a couple. I don't think there's many, to be honest with you. For me personally, I mean, I'm not Mexican, so I don't have that kind of blood type. But I think if one of your parents is Mexican, I think you can quite happily play for Chivas. I don't think it needs to be that much more of a big deal, to be honest with you. If he was, if he was 22, 23, and he was an upcoming goalkeeper who, people are rating and talking about a lot, then maybe there might be a bit more of an issue. But he's a 29-year-old goalkeeper that's coming in to challenge Wacho. I don't think it's that much of a big deal. I mean, some people say that he's Spanish. His mum's Mexican, so like that should just be enough, in my opinion. But I can understand other people might be a little bit more skeptical about it. I would imagine, the club's done their due diligence and they know who's eligible and who's not eligible to play for GMS, and if it's okay with the club, then it's okay with me, in my opinion. There's some people out there that do want GMS to start playing international players, so this might benefit them. I think the downside is that he's obviously a Spanish second division player, pretty much most of his career, so he's not really played in the first division of any real club, to be honest with you, or any real league. But he's an established goalkeeper. He knows he's 29 years old. He's experienced, and I think he can come into Liga MX and do well. He might not, but then again, Wacho's our starting goalkeeper at the moment, so it doesn't matter if he hits the ground running or not. To be honest with you, I think he just comes in as competition, comes into pressure, Wacho to stay at the top of his game and improve. I do worry now having both goalkeepers quite old now. My thinking is that we're going to keep them for maybe another year or two, and then we can bring some of the Tapatio players, Garcia, and there's another one as well, I've forgotten. But bring a couple of Tapatio players in and, have them replace these two guys. But we'll have to wait and see. But I'm alright with it. I'm not like massively excited about it. I do like the fact that we do have a decent backup to Vacho now. We have competition for him now. It's not just him and a bunch of youth players now. It's him and another guy who's good enough to step in. So the squad is strengthening in depth, which is good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not massively amazed by it, like I said, but it's a good signing, and um, obviously Hierro's Spanish connection as well probably made it a little bit more of an easier deal for them to get done rather than signing someone else from another Mexican team. Yeah, I mean, I only know so much about him. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know who he was until Chivas were linked to him, so I don't claim to be a massive knowledgeable person on him. But I think going back on my last episode, I think he did play in Danish league, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's not exactly a top five league. So yeah, like I said, it's a decent signing. So yeah, I'm pretty okay with it, to be honest. Um, Let me know in the comments down below what you think about his international eligibility. Obviously, some people I think believe that Chivas are more selective in who they want representing in their club than the Mexico national team are. I think, like I said, if it's good enough for here and the club, then it's good enough for me. And yeah, so the second signing we made was Ricardo Marin from Celaya in the expansion league, same league that Tapatio are in, just in case you didn't know that. Tapatio obviously won that league, but Marin actually got the golden boot. He scored the most goals. I think it was 25 goals or something, which is pretty good, to be honest with you. Um, you'd think that, obviously, in that form, if he steps up to the Liga MX, then maybe if you halve that number, that's still, you know, 12, 13 goals, which is good. Like that goal tally would have helped us um, a lot in last season. So, um, striker is absolutely pivotal that we sign someone in this off season summer. Obviously, we didn't play with any strikers really. More of a false nine kind of setup. We had sort of Cisneros' guys in there, and it was alright. At times we coped really well with it. At times we didn't. But yeah, it was nice to get an out-and-out striker. Would I have liked to have had Chicharito before he got injured? Bless him. Hell yeah. Would I have liked to see Polito come in? Hell yeah. But I think, we were going to go and sign a younger player. I think he's 25, so, he's just probably entering his prime as a striker now. He's probably desperate to make the step up to Liga MX and become Chivas' starting striker. I don't know what this means for Daniel Rios, but Daniel Rios hasn't done at all well, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I did have hope for him, but we need a good striker, and obviously JJ Macias is going to come back at some point within the coming season, I believe. I think he's got maybe two. I think he's got 2 months left of his injury before he can start kind of training again. So I may be wrong on that. It might be longer. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure during the season he's going to end up coming back. So if he can come back and then challenge Marion, that's all the good for me. Obviously, again, it's from the second division, so it's a little bit, well, second division, the expansion league, but you know what I mean. I think that made it a little bit more easier to do. We were never, I don't think, going to be buying a striker from another Liga MX team. I think teams will just want too much for them. And, Chivas, I think, are trying to do the best business they can on the cheap. And, these two signings, I think, are quite cheap. I think they might actually both be free transfers. I'm not actually quite sure. Yeah, I mean, they're good. The thing that I like about these two signings is that they're striker is a position we absolutely needed to get somebody in, and goalkeeper obviously we need to strengthen a little bit because Wacho does have a mistake in him, and Wacho's the kind of player I don't think that is better knowing that someone's ready to take his place, so that makes him perform better. So we'll see what happens in this coming season. I also really like the fact that they're both really early signings. Done them really quickly. Both players are going to have full pre-seasons now before the next season starts. And for me, you know, it's business as usual. We got to go back and get to the Liga again, and I would like us to get to the final again. But yeah, it's good. The squad depth's better now. They're not. Both of them are not like massively impressive signings for me, but they're good signings, I think. There's every reason to believe that both players can do really well at Chivas, or maybe not so well at Chivas. I don't think Daniel Rios was a hero signing. I don't think he was a Paunovic signing either. I think Hierro is heavily involved in both of these signings, so maybe you'd have to assume that they're both players that he wants to come in. And if you're gonna get a player from the second division, then you want to get if you need a striker and you're gonna get a striker from the second division, then it's best to get the guy with the most goals. Like, it makes sense. I think Alvarado and Vega in particular do well with a striker. I think Vega in particular struggled. I think both of them, actually, they struggled for goals and assists because they need a striker to kind of pivot off of and hold the ball up and bring them into play. And both Alvarado and Vega are not strikers type players. They need to feed off that number 9. So I expect both Alvarado and Vega to do better this coming season. I don't think Vega's going to leave this summer. If we'd won the league, I think maybe he could have done going to Europe maybe. I would like us to keep him until the January, and if we can win this league, then let him go to Europe in the January for pennies and buyback clauses and whatever. Make it. I think the club just want to get a trophy with him, and then he's done his bit. He can then leave. So yeah, I'm happy with both these players. Again, I'm not massively excited. I'm not going to be running around screaming about him, but they're good signings. They're astute signings. I really trust here at the moment. So it'd be nice to see. I don't even think Pocho Guzman was a hero signing. I think that was just a signing that the club was going to make regardless. But now we're starting to see players that he wants to bring in, players that he's brought in. So it's all on him now. It's all on Hierro and Paunovic as well. Paunovic's obviously told him, like, well, I need a backup goalkeeper and I need a striker. And Hierro's delivered, and it's delivered quickly, which is good. By the time the season starts, both these players will be embedded. I do expect outgoings. There've been rumours, but I'm not going to comment on them now. I'm going to wait until anything happens, like I've done here, and I'll comment on what happens. I'm not going to do rumours and stuff because there's no point. Yeah, like I said, I'm quite happy now. I don't know whether there's going to be any more signings. Let's talk of this player and that player. Campos from Laguna, for example, but I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I'm going to wait until we sign someone or till we sell someone before I comment. Yeah, I'm probably not going to talk too much about the Tapatio team as well. Not yet, anyway. I'm hoping that we bring some players up. Let's talk about Bouquet and a couple of other Tapatio players being graduated into Chivas' team, which is good. I want to see us with a much more stronger squad. Obviously, the Tapatio players won the league. They know what it takes to win trophies now, and it's time to bring at least 2 or 3, I think, players from Tapatio into Chivas' squad, and give them real chances in the first team. And with a better squad, more fuller squad, more stronger squad, then who knows what we can achieve next season. So yeah, that's my kind of overall reactions to these signings. Let me know what you think about them, and whether you want any more or whether you think we should sell any players. So we'll talk about it in the comments. But yeah, I'm happy, and I'm buzzing for the next season, to be honest with you. But as I said, any more moves happen, I'll do more videos and we'll talk about it. So yeah, take it easy, guys. Let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it there. And I'll see you guys very soon. Adios.